See, a lot of you may not know this about me. I've never said this in a video, I believe, but Kiritsugu Emiya is one of my favorite male characters of all of anime and manga, and he's one of what I believe the best male characters in all of anime and manga. And I'll have a video about that at some given point, but seeing a little cameo from him in this episode of Fate Stay Night, the official first episode, getting the viewpoint of the entirety of the beginning through Shiro's perspective, seeing a little bit of that Kiritsugu Emiya, for me, it was like, oh my gosh. I have Kiritsugu Emiya up there with the Guts from Berserk, with the Musashi Miyamoto from Vagabond, the dude from Blade of the Immortal. His name escapes me, but he's a fucking amazing character too. He is up there for me as one of the greats. So to see him in this episode, it was awesome. And to be honest with you, while this episode, it was a little less exciting than last week's episode because we got more into the Rin and Archer stuff very early on. Compared to this episode, it was more so showcasing Shiro's daily life and his regular life prior to the chaos that is about to ensue. So it wasn't as hype as it was for the most part throughout the episode. Towards the end, that's when it really started to kick into high gear, but it really wasn't as exciting as last week's episode. But that's not to say that it wasn't a good episode or a great episode for that matter, because just getting more into his character, seeing the surroundings and how he views it, because at the end of the day, while this is the Rin, so to speak, route, this is the Unlimited Blade Works route that focuses in on Rin, this is still, you know, Shiro's story at the end of the day through his eyes. And just seeing a lot of the things in this episode, it was like, oh man, it puts a smile on my face to see that Ufotable has taken Fate Stay Night into their hands and said, enough is enough, we're making our masterpiece out of this, and it's coming together so well. Art and animation, I don't need to say this, but there's great, and there's like those things that you just go crazy, and then there's those things that is damn near perfection. Like this episode, the art and animation is damn near perfection, if not perfection, because it is just absolutely outstanding. They never reuse the scene. Like, there are scenes where they actually collide, Shiro and Rin, for, you know, small amounts of time throughout the episode, and they never even reuse those scenes that they did in episode 0. We literally get to see it from his perspective. We don't have to see like a reuse scene here or reuse scene there. They literally just said, no, we're going to put the money in and we're going to do it right. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it the way it needs to be done. And the way I talk about this, you think, oh, you know, no, this is seriously a masterpiece of a studio. And this is probably going to be a masterpiece up there with Fate Zero. I've never came out in a video and said this. Fate Zero is, when I do my top 10 anime, it's going to be somewhere in there. I'm not going to say where, but ultimately it's up there. That's how high I regard this material and these characters. So to see Studio Ufotable doing it right this episode 1, again, it wasn't as exciting up until the midway point where we got to see Saber. My beautiful Saber. I love Saber so much. Being able to see her. But it was still nice to get the grounded reality of what Shiro's life was prior to this, and also getting some of his characterization. You could tell that he values being able to save people. So even if he can help people out, even if people use and abuse him, having him fix everything around their house, he still doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to do it because I need to save people. Getting more of his character in here, seeing a little bit about what he can do with his magic. It seemingly like he can reroute things and kind of make, like, for example, he made that paper turn into like a metallic object or something. So we got a little bit into his magic. He's not that great at it, but he can do some things. So got a little bit more into his characterization and overall what he can do, his abilities. And this episode, oh, the opening. Before I forget to talk about the opening, oh my god, the visuals. The ending? The visuals, for the most part, was still framed. We got a couple little anime scenes, and the song was alright. But the opening, oh my god! That was a great song, and outstanding visuals. Outstanding. Mwah. Like, this is that material that is up there on that. When people speak of the greats, this is the greats of the greats. And did anyone else just, like, their eyes start leaking out jizz when they saw that scene of Saber, and she's like reflecting it, and she's like, oh, going like this against, I think it's Lancer's special move he's using on her, and they just, I don't even know what they did. It just looks so good and crazy. I was like, Studio Ufotable, how much money do you have? How much talent do you have out there that you can do these things? Make these scenes that, like, no offense, yo, like, because I still have somewhere in my heart for Studio Dean's adaptation of Fate Stay Night. It's still in my heart. I'm not going to betray it and say it's trash or anything like that, because I still think to this day it was good. But Studio Ufotable, they're taking this and they're like, yo, Dean, This is how you do it, Dean. The small action sequences towards the end yet again looking beautiful as ever. Seeing Saber getting a little bit of the exposition of what can be done and what can't be done, as far as like he can't, since he's not an experienced master, he can't heal her, and she's just such a boss jumping from battle to battle after getting injured. Is like, oh my god, wrap it up. I don't think any anime is going to be able to touch Fate Stay Night this season. It's just too good. It's too amazing. The source material is too strong. And when you take a strong source material and one of the best studios out there collide, you get shit like Fate Zero, and you get stuff like this. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works TV 2014. Absolutely outstanding. Again, for episode 0 was amazing. Episode 1 wasn't as exciting up until towards the end, but it was still great. And overall, it's getting like, you know, again, I'm going to give it maybe like in the 9.5 or something like that, because it was just that goddamn good. And again, while we're re-experiencing that timeline, we're seeing it through a different perspective. And when can you say that you get to see 2 perspectives of the same episode with completely different animation? This isn't Endless 8. This isn't Haruhi. This is its own thing. And it's like, ufotable. Keep being amazing. But let me know what you thought of this episode. What do you think about that Saber greatness? If you don't know about that Kiritsugu Emiya, go watch Fate Zero right now. Stop what you're doing. He's one of the greatest male characters in all of anime and manga, period. One of the greatest characters for that matter, because he's just so, oh my god. You need to know about him. And what do you think about this episode? What do you think about that opening? Best opening of the season. And I've seen some great openings this season, but that was too good. And are you excited for more Fate Stay Night? I'm going to try to keep reviewing it as long as the episodes don't get too chaotic with the release schedule, because it's that Fate. Greatness doesn't begin to describe it. Amazingness. It's pretty much Fate perfection. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.